Hello, I'm here with Jean-René Lèquepeys, Deputy Director and CTO of CEA-Leti, and we're here at Leti Days 2024, which is ending today. It's an event in Grenoble. And one of Jean-René's responsibilities is to oversee Leti's work on the new famous pilot line, which kicked off this week in Grenoble. So, Jean-René, the EU Chips Act is a big step forward, but what's still missing in Europe?
Yeah, okay. Quite a complex question.
I'll start with a good one.
FAMES is starting, yes, since FAMES pilot line, it's a huge investment from EU and from member state, as you know, and it will provide, I would say, probably very good result. But instead of what is missing, I would say that European has still a very strong position with some world leaders such as ST Microelectronics, Infineon, Bosch, and NXP, mainly in more and more technology. And having some leadership position for the microcontrollers, for example, market, and for the automotive market and for the industrial market, which are two booming markets which are increasing quite a lot in the near future. So we are well positioned. We are also well positioned on producing, I would say, advanced node with Intel in Ireland and probably tomorrow in Magdeburg in Germany. So we're also in good position in material supply for wafers, for example, with Soitec, which is a world leader for, I would say, advanced substrates for microelectronic purposes. And so some world leaders in terms of equipment suppliers like ASML, which is worldwide leaders for advanced lithography, as you know, Pat.
Right.
So we are, I would say, still in good position in some areas. If we think at what is missing, probably what might be missing for the future is a presence for the memory market, so with DRAM and flash memory, because all these markets are captured by 5 big players, such as, I would say, Kioxia, Western Digital, Micron, Samsung, and a fifth one. So it's a market which is a little bit difficult because it needs very huge investment and the cost margin are pretty low. And in the past, mnemonics, you remember, did not survive. Mm-hmm. And so, but we think that probably the new kind of memories, like memories embedded in the backend line, such like resistive RAM, may open new opportunities for Europe to make a strong differentiation. And so it's a good opportunity for us to make a kind of difference. But I would like to say that European supply chain of semiconductor is worldwide really very interconnected. Right. And so what is missing in Europe, it's a tricky question, I would say.
Right. What about OSATs, outsourced semiconductor assembly and test companies? Could Europe use that?
I know. Compared to some, I would say, feeling of some people, we are still, I would say, capacity in Europe for OSAT company, and I will come back on that later. Of course, we are far from Malaysia or Vietnam for high-end, low volume and low price back-end of fabs. Mm-hmm. We are also far from Taiwan, Korea, and US fab for advanced wafer level packaging, but we are still present in Europe. Amcor, for example, is settled in Portugal, and it has an historical fab for back-end of line, and they have some agreement with Global Foundries to transfer the 12 inches fab and the site sorter for its Dresden fab, so it opened also new opportunities. And there is some big investment which has been made by European Commission in Catania, in Sicily, in Italy, in order to produce, I would say, silicon carbide component. And in this initiative, there is the test and facilities for power devices and modules for DC-DC converters are already there and will be funding in this initiative. And you may know that also Intel decided to invest a huge amount of money in Poland in order to, I would say, be able to have a back-end fab for its Irish fab and for the future German fab. So we are still very present in this area, and there will be some complementary initiative. And all the three RTOs, so IMEC, CEA-Leti, and Fraunhofer, are also working actively in these areas to prepare advanced new wafer-level packaging solution, like direct-to-wafers, for example, like bonding, and so in the 3D heterogeneous integration, 3D monolithic, and we are preparing the next generation of packaging chips in Europe.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you made reference to the global supply chain, the fact that it's interconnected and European players are part of the global supply chain. Should European players be looking abroad to find partnerships in some of the leading countries outside of Europe? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think it's semiconductor is a worldwide market, so we need to have strong presence and strong in different areas. So, of course, in US, because it's I would say a key areas for us, and so we have a good partnership with US players and some big companies. Could not mention them because it's a little bit confidential. But we have some partnership also, which has been announced with New York Creates. It has been announced, I would say, 2 days ago in New York State. So it's a very important partnership for us in order to bring our expertise and to also be able to play a role in this New York State environment. So we will be very present. We organize also some tech days all around the world. In Japan, in US, in Korea, in Taiwan, every year and several times per year. And so in order to stay connected with this world and stay connected with the world leaders, because very often the world leaders push us to do our best to find solution to some very difficult problem to be solved.
Right.
So it's very important for us to still be very active in this international landscape of semiconductor.
Right.
Yeah, and we do our best to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that we are pretty satisfied by what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
And we see at the Leti Days event here, there's a big presence from companies and organizations around the world.
Yeah, and for example, just to provide some example with Japan, for example, and the initiative around Rapidus, we all together with IBM, IMEC, and CEA-Leti, we bring our expertise in order to help Rapidus to develop its 2 nanometers technology node and sub 2 nanometers technology node, and we gather all the expertise of the three in order to prepare this technology for Rapidus.
Okay. All right. So how can Europe better support the equipment subsystems market?
Yeah, at Leti, we support, I would say, a dozen of equipment suppliers, more or less, in order to prepare with them some new equipment and to prepare also new processes thanks to this new equipment in our fab. We have big partnership with some of them, and so we work with very big suppliers, but we work also with much smaller suppliers which are preparing the future. I can provide some example with Mapper, which is for massively e-beam solution, massively parallel e-beam solution for digital chips and high specialty chips, in order to avoid having lithography mask and to lower the cost of lithography thanks to e-beam technology. We work also with some small company like SET, which is a small company inside the French Alps, in order to develop a flip chip equipment, hybrid bonding for die-to-die wafers, die-to-wafers solution.
Right.
And you may know that it is a very promising areas for the future, and to go in the direction with self-alignment technology, which has been put in place. And we think that this technology will be, I would say, needed for the future. And we try to have, I would say, an equipment which will have the yield, necessary yield, and the necessary speed in terms of pick-and-place solution in order to be able to address, I would say, big markets also.
Okay. So there are a lot of big steps have been taken so far in Europe, and they're underway.
Yeah.
What needs to happen next in Europe?
Next in Europe, so Europe has launched the CHIP Act, as you know. So the initiative are launching. There's 4 pilot lines which are launching. One on wideband gap technology for power devices and radio frequency. One on sub 2 nanometers and advanced lithography. One which is the one which is held in Grenoble, based around, I would say, called the FAMES, which is around fully depicted SOI, non-volatile memories, 3D option, RF components, and tiny inductance in order to develop DC-DC for power management for integrated circuit. And all this technology would be combined in an efficient way to go towards greener and cost-efficient and energy-efficient chips for the future. And the last one is on advanced packaging, using different kind of materials or wafers, but also panel of glasses in order to prepare also the future. And we at Leti, we are contributing to the 4 pilot lines, not only on our pilot line, which is managed and coordinated by us, which is a famous pilot line. We are coordinating also, bringing resources to the 3 others. So what we expect is that this pilot line has to be open to all EU partners, academia, SMEs, and large companies, but also open to all EU like-minded countries partners in order to disseminate the technology and to transfer the technology through license agreement in order for our technology to be used and sometimes produced in Europe or produced in other parts of the world, but to take the leadership in research and in R&D in the semiconductor areas. We have the 3 most powerful RTOs in Europe, IMEC, Fraunhofer, and CEA-Leti, but we need probably to bring more to industry. Yeah, and we are, I would say, very good relationship between us, and we work in close collaborations and push also by European Commission, and we have established very good links between us. Okay. And we are no more competing. Right. We are working in different expertise areas and bringing the best of what we can do.
Right. That's good to see, and that should bring a lot of progress.
Yeah.
So these are very exciting times. Thank you very much, Jean-René, and congratulations on the launch of the famous pilot line this week.
Yeah, it's a big achievement for us. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And congratulations on another great Leti Days this year, which ends today.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you very much, and welcome for the next year in 1 year in Grenoble.
Okay.
And we'll do our best to have, I would say, a very nice event.
Okay.
Also, and to welcome people all over the world to come to us and to discuss.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.